Kiss my eyes and let me to sleep. I don't know why that song stuck in my head. That doesn't come on until like season 6, but it got something in my head. I don't know. We are on season 1, episode 9, 10. Episode 10, Shimmer. This episode was Gunta. So this episode is an obsession episode. If the Mariah Carey song was out at this point, you could play in this episode. Why you so obsessed with me? Wasn't out yet, but yeah, there's an invisible person in this episode. This episode, I do not care for this episode. This is one whenever I go on rewatches where I'm just like, this one, yes. So we're introduced. I say introduced because we're introduced to Amy, who is the daughter, Amy and Jeff, the children of the servants for the Luther estate, the Luther mansion. The problem is, this is another set of characters that act like it acts like they've been there the entire time. There's another character also introduced in this episode, Troy, played by Jesse Hutch, who is Freddy versus Jason. And he shows up again next season, and that's about it. 2 episodes, because what happens to him in that episode. But, yeah. And, invisible stuff. So we find out that there's the plant's infected with the meteorites, and it's turning people invisible. Although, it's very weird, because they go out of their way to explain that these two characters, Jeff and Amy, they're like servants. They're supposed to be invisible, so that's why they turn invisible. But you get some of that stuff on Chloe's fingers, and her fingers start to disappear. So it's not a case of, oh, they're being infected, and that's why they're turning invisible, is because they're meant to be invisible. No, it turns them invisible. It is a pretty cool effect with Chloe's fingers, even for 2001, where it's like, you can see it, that her fingers, some of her fingers, parts of her fingers are missing, so it's pretty cool. And Clark has decided to go for it with Lana. Her and Whitney have another argument. Whitney's pushing her away. We don't know why he's pushing her away, not yet, but, Clark has decided he's going to step in, he's going to step in, he's going to try to get Lana. They're having a blood drive, which is not good for Clark, because, he can't, his parent, Jonathan, is like, Clark, you can't have him take your blood. Jonathan, you do realize that taking his blood is not the issue. They get a hold of his blood, yeah, it could be bad, but they'd have to puncture his skin first, and I think that's going to be a bit of a problem. They go over the needle, it breaks, be like, it's a Neosporin. Anyway, so yeah, that's an issue. So he gets around that by saying, oh, I'll help you with it, but he's not going to. Here's the thing with needles, he's not gonna, he's not gonna, give any. Which he does get around. And he and Lana get pretty close. They're on Lana's porch, they're about to kiss, but Nell comes out, her aunt. We haven't established that, her aunt Nell. And he's like, Clark, what time is it? He goes, hey, he's like, Clark, you have the time. Like, no, but I'm guessing it's late. He lives right there. It's right there. He doesn't go that far. So it's not like he's all the way across town. But of course, she sees this, they're about to kiss, and so. But, just when you think Clark and Lana might end up getting together and screw Whitney, they actually give Whitney a purpose. They give him a purpose. They actually give him a story. And this is the start of his arc. Find out his dad is sick. Heart problems. And so, yeah, because Clark finds medication in his bag. Turns out it's heart medication. And when he talks to Whitney about it, he says that his dad is having heart issues. And he can't tell Lana because he's just trying to, because of what happened with her parents. He doesn't want to, burden her with that. But Clark says, Lana's strong. She can handle it. But he's already invited her to watch the sunset from his loft. And again, they get so close. The facial acting from Kristen Cruick here. She just wants she just wants to be with Clark. She is longing. You see her eyes, just in her eyes, that she wants to be with Clark. But Clark is a good person. There's even a conversation with him and Lex, like, I don't want to take advantage of Whitney. What would you do? He goes, me? I'd do it. But that's me. You're not me, So he is a good person, and he tells her to talk to Whitney and all that. And yeah, unfortunately, will they, won't they? It's still a won't they. It's still a won't. But, yeah. That's all the good stuff in this episode. Let's talk about Amy. Okay? Amy is this girl who's jealous, who's in love with Lex. She's jealous of Victoria. I don't think this is the end of Victoria. I think she comes back, because I remember there's some kind of big twist around with that. But I think the last episode was when, maybe it is this episode that Lionel shows up to make an appearance and tells him that she's playing him. He goes, oh, don't worry, I am playing. I know that, And even Clark walks in on her going through files, and he tells Lex, and he's like, nothing much happens in this mansion without my knowing, except for the invisible person, who they believe is Amy, after they find his watch in her thing. So I definitely believe that Amy was using the invisibility stuff, because she makes a thing, she didn't see me, she caught Victoria going through Lex's stuff in his room, and she didn't see me, we're like, help, they're not supposed to see it, that sort of thing, but she was invisible. But they do a twist with this, where I was just like, yeah, it's a twist for the sake of having a twist, because they come in, and they're like, okay, they find all this stuff that Amy's obsessed with them, so they give them, and Jeff, her brother, is going to stay back and make sure that things, I saw it fly over there, I don't know, are packed, and then her husband will come and get it in the morning. Her husband, who we never meet, by the way, but he's playing a trick on me. As soon as they take off, Lex is attacked by an invisible person. Of course it's Jeff. Who barely has anything in this episode. They even say he's so quiet. It's always the quiet ones, right? But Clark just so happened to be there when this was going down. Oh no, they figure out it was Jeff, because Chloe shows up. Again, no, Pete is in this, but he's barely in this. He's not. Again, when they add him, when he starts, I think the side characters get more to do starting with season 2. This is all, we gotta have Clark do it by himself, sort of thing. But Chloe shows up, and so he tells them that the blood that they found on the piece was A, not O. Because Amy's blood type is O positive, whereas this was A positive. Turns out that's Jeff's blood type, which I don't think a family member was to be so drastic away from the other one. Like, wouldn't they have the same blood type? Isn't that the whole thing with family? Again, a twist for the sake of having a twist. Don't family members usually have same blood types or similar blood types? I guess that's what I usually say. You get a blood transfusion, you gotta be from a family member. I don't know. But, yeah, so Clark takes off. And this is another one of those things where, we can't have someone see the power. So Lex gets knocked out. Excuse me, he doesn't die. He gets knocked out. Knocked off. They shoot him. He's dead. No, he gets knocked out while Clark has a conversation with an invisible person. There's a part where a sword goes flying toward Lex, and it's CGI, and no. They couldn't put it on a string. How much does it cost to put a sword on a string? Come on. But no. And then Clark shows up to have a fight. He's knocked into some paint or something. And then you can see him again, and he goes away, and we never see Amy or her family again. That's it. They're never mentioned. The Victoria plotline goes on, but that is never mentioned. In fact, Victoria was in the house in the prior episode, Rogue. But we never saw them. Oh, we have never seen these people. Again, this could benefit from having these characters in the background throughout previous episodes until this happens. But it's another one of the case where, there's a budget and we gotta bring these characters in. We gotta act like they've been there the entire time, like with Troy. And then when he shows up again for the second time in season 2, we gotta act like he was always there. I don't know. Oh, by the way, I thought of something. David Petco was in the episode 3 Hothead. It's another Final Destination. It's another Final Destination one. So we have David Petco, Robert Wisdom, Tony Todd, that one dude. That's 4 so far that have been in Final Destination. We have 1 Freddy versus Jason alumni. Believe me, that comes back. We have 1 Freddy versus Jason alumni in this episode. So there's some connections. But yeah, this episode gets a 3. For me, it's not terrible, but it's just not one that I'm ready to come back. I can't even need lower than that. It's not horrible, but it's 3 out of 5. 3 Superman logos out of 5, I can say. Yeah, I don't know. It's not one that I go back and rewatch. That I want to watch, although you kind of have to because of the Victoria storyline, because there's that storyline, and the Whitney storyline is kind of the start of his arc and where he goes for the rest of this season. But yeah, I want to say this before I get done, before I end the episode. I have 2 more episodes that I have the thumbnails done for. I'm gonna take a break. Not for the rest of the day. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna do the last 2 episodes, right? I'm doing after this one, and then I'm gonna take a little break to watch some YouTube videos, catch up on some stuff, and then I'll get back in the grind. I'll do the new things. There's YouTube videos come up and I want to watch them. There's stuff that comes up and I'm doing this, and yeah. But I wanted to finish at least the ones that I have the thumbnails for, and then watch a couple videos while doing new thumbnails for the next few, and then, the whole thing. So, what are your thoughts on this episode? Leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.